My mother died in the concentration camp, 78 years old that time, you know. Well, she was not activist, she was not politician, she was just a housewife, but brave woman.
In 1997, the Chinese regime labeled Uyghur human rights activist Dolkun a criminal and put him on Interpol's list of most dangerous fugitives. After 9/11, they added another label, terrorist.
I was detained in so many countries, Germany, United States, Italy, India, Turkey. Is what's happening in the free world, not in an authoritarian regime.
He's the author of China Freedom Trap, My Life on the Run. In this episode, he exposes the harrowing long arm of Chinese transnational repression.
A couple of years ago, my son, my daughter sitting together, chat, saying, "Do you know, father, no, I'm proud of you. But 10 years ago, even 5, 6 years ago, I hate you. Because we had faced a lot of discriminated. Oh, this is your father? Yes, your father is a terrorist?" My children couldn't explain.
This is American Thought Leaders, and I'm Yanya Kellick. Dolkun, such a pleasure to have you on American Thought Leaders.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
Well, it's really my pleasure. And you've written an astonishingly good book that I think will tell us a lot about the realities of life under the thumb of communist China. And you called it actually the China Freedom Trap. Tell me why you chose this name.
Well, it is a good question, of course, and this book is not my biography, simple. It is my experience, personal experience, and I have been faced by the Chinese Communist Party, transnational repression, and this is all my experience in the book I have written, is what's happening in the free world. Not in an authoritarian regime, for example, Central Asia or some other country. I was detained in so many countries. This country, all democratic country. Germany, United States, Italy, for example, India, and Turkey, Switzerland. This. So that's why I give this name is a China Freedom Trap, because it's happening in the free country. So I would like to share my experience to warn the world. Look, if I'm the citizen of the democratic countries, I'm living in a free world, but still I have been subject and suffering by the CCP, a long arm. So that's why I give this name of this book.
That's amazing. And I mean, when you talk about long arm, it's long arm over decades.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a term called transnational repression, and you hear that in human rights circles. I've been hearing it for decades myself. But what does that actually mean?
Well, this actually mean in the one country, particularly is any authoritarian country, use its power, use international system, use its diplomatic power, economic power, and misuse international system to trying to control people who is living in the diaspora or asylum seeker, and also same time this transnational repression also get destroyed and in the civil society of the democratic society, and also trying to influence the rule of law. This is my understanding. I'm not expert for the term, but I'm always a person who suffering by the transnational repression.
Right.
Yes.
Well, no, so you are an expert actually, because you've experienced it. And
yes,
this is, I mean, your whole story started in 1988. This is a long story.
Yes.
But tell me about that. Yeah.
Well, I was a student in 1980s. I studied physics. Xinjiang University is a physics department. Before I came to the Xinjiang University, many Uyghurs like me, and even myself too, we Uyghurs is second-class citizen in China. Mm-hmm. We didn't know. Actually, I didn't have more idea what kind of right we have. We think, we are second class. We should not have an equal right with the Chinese people. This is the most of them people thinking like, because they have never enjoying equality. Particularly occupation by the Chinese Communist Party even before Chinese Communist Party, Kuomintang time, also a lot of discrimination. You know, Manchu Empire time also.
Right.
So we suffering a lot since many years. So that's why. But when I came to the university, 1984, then and the change in my mind, because we every Wednesday afternoon we have a political class in China. This political class sometimes we learn Chinese constitution and the autonomic law. Oh, we read Chinese constitution and the Xinjiang Uyghur autonomous law. We have a lot of right. For example, Uyghur language is the first language, and same level important with the Chinese language, and well, is culturally, politically, we have a lot of right. Wow, it is on the paper, is on the constitution, we have a lot of right. Why we not enjoying this? But if you look at is a daily life, we have had faced a lot of discrimination. This is the turning point in my mind, you know. Then I thought any right not given you themselves, you have to demand it. You have to fight for this. And most of them Uyghurs, they don't know what kind of rights they have, but we have to educate them. Educate them. More than 70% Uyghur, maybe more than 75% Uyghur is analphabetic, because 80% Uyghur living in the rural area, farmer. There is no school. So people couldn't read. If the people illiterate, cannot read, cannot write, and they don't understand what kind of right. So that's why I was thinking, okay, first step, we have to educate the people, to teach them alphabet. Then we educate people. We are equal. We have equal right with some other Chinese people, and we demand our right, constitutional right, autonomic right. This is my opinion, and I discussed my my colleague, my friend, that we established Student Cultural Scientists Union. We mobilized thousands of students during the summer and winter holiday, voluntarily went to the rural area, farmer, and the teaching. We started, but we are really started our activity. Then we had faced a lot of barrier, a lot of problem. Why? I didn't understand. Why on the paper, on the constitution, we have did anything against the Chinese constitution or policy, but they didn't want to increase them or educational level.
Right.
Yeah. So 1988, then we had 5 hours debate with the high-level Chinese Communist Party leadership. You know, in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region Regional Committee, party secretary, he was there, Minister of Education, and the Minister of Finance, Minister of Planning Committee.
Wow.
Yeah, we have 5 hours debate. You know, we had talk a lot, and well, but we couldn't compromise. Then I returned to the university, and we hold huge and big meeting, protest meeting, and against the discrimination policy. We demand equal right. We against the discrimination. We demand democratic elections, and we protest and family planning policy,
Right.
one-child policy.
Yes.
And also we asking the government stop nuclear testing, because Chinese government from 1964 until 1996 more than 46 times nuclear weapon test in the Lopner area, because of this huge Uyghurs and was died under natural disaster. Quite a lot of young baby was born on a disability, you know.
Yes,
So that's why you have to stop. It is one issue. Also, stop nuclear testing. It is the international action, you know. That time is because of the world peace. So, and I was house arrested. I was house arrested up to these days. And then we took the demonstration, went to the street. More than 5,000 people. Then that night I was house arrested for more than 4 months. Then I was kicked out from the university, so that's why I was not able to graduate university. So this discrimination exists all the time, you know. Some people some people thought, oh, this Uyghur problem just starting since 2016 or 2017.
Right.
Very new. It's not true. This problem exists all the time. All the time. Only level big different.
Right.
Change. Particularly Xi Jinping talks of power.
Yes.
Since 2013, 2014. This China's government, the policy against Uyghur discrimination, assimilation policy change into genocidal policy.
Yes.
Before, no concentration camp. Yes. Before, not in the million Uyghur children separate from family. But education level, daily level, we have faced discrimination. So, and then we were starting 1988, this demonstration. I was kicked out from the university. Well, this is the short story on my activism. Yes.
Right. Well, no. So, before I continue with your story, because a big part of your story is, how this arm of the CCP just followed you wherever you went in life afterwards, and it's absolutely fascinating. Before we go there, I want to talk about this. So, we know what happened in '89 in Tiananmen Square.
Yes.
It was a student movement. And afterwards, right, China, under the CCP, got the message from the US and from other countries that actually we're not going to worry about that so much, right? That's my observation. Then in 1999, they started persecuting the Falun Gong.
Yes.
And then they get the same message.
Yes.
We're not really going to worry about that so much. And with the Tibetans,
yes,
same situation. Even after 2008, after the big demonstration by the Tibetans, they really tried to smash that movement, right?
Yes.
Through the transnational repression. Yes. So, and still, I don't see many countries really being too concerned about this, right? So, my theory is that that's what escalated. Of course, the Uyghurs have been persecuted the whole time, but then once we getting to 2014, 2015, 2016, they get this, extreme solution, as but I think if the world had responded to these other persecutions before in a meaningful way, maybe this would never have happened. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yes, completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Chinese government not coming to this level. Today, Chinese government commit genocide against Uyghur, cultural genocide to the Tibetan, and persecution Falun Gong practitioners, and also human rights defenders, human rights lawyer in China. Is it today Taiwan's sovereignty under dangerous by the CCP? Hong Kong democracy disappeared.
Right.
This is all not coming within 1 day, as you say, step by step, step by step, step by step. China testing the world. For example, for the Uyghur prospect, and after Xi Jinping took the power since 2013, and 2014, first step he launched 1 year Strike Hard campaign.
Right.
Yes, Strike Hard campaign. Well, we made statement. We doing advocacy work. UN made statement. Human Rights Council, and my colleague visiting is a congressman or senators or a State Department. She listening to us. Same things. I traveling to around the world, the European country. We talking. This is is very soft reacted. Actually, no one really strong takes a position for this. And Xi Jinping said, "Oh, okay, I'm strong good enough. Entire world need my money. No, I'm strong enough power, so I can do anything." No, then 2016, start 2014, 15, for example. Today is Ramadan, people cannot fast. Cannot fast. This started 2014, 2015, forbidden fasting, and also normally during the Ramadan time, Uyghurs restaurant was closed until dinner time is a break in Ramadan. Then you have to open the restaurant. You have to display. You have to sell the cigarette and the alcohol. And remove the halal sign from the restaurant. The testing, not single reaction from the Muslim world. Any religious entity. Oh, okay. Then next second step, and 2017 is collected all Quran and textbook textbook, you know. So no single reaction from the Muslim world, and Xi Jinping thought, okay, and it's good. Then testing Western world, collected passport, for example, shut down the internet. Turkestan, we cannot calling all family members, you know. No reaction. A few Human Rights Watch, Amnesty, some international organization just published report or statement, but not a country. Is a UN. Nearly no country is reacted for this. And Xi Jinping said, okay. Then, and it puts millions of people to the concentration camp. Before this, as I said, and Falun Gong, and was cracked on by the China. This time also, okay, some countries speaking of very, very empty statement, but we have never seen real action against the Chinese government, not warning for the China. This is the all, and the China, I'm not enough strong, nobody take. Then is 2016 is 2019 is Hong Kong democracy movement.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, this is international convention. According to the international convention, Hong Kong's democracy is one country, two systems should not be changed until 50 years. But we have seen up to more than 20 years later, change everything. So this is the situation, because really in international arena, or particularly democratic country, just ignored it. Yeah, because of temporary benefit, because of some money, because of the business, you know, because of business. And there is one thing I have to emphasize, and China, no, it's second big economy, but Tiananmen massacre time, 1980s, beginning of 1990, yes. That time is China was not second big economy. China need Western technology,
that's right,
Western money, Western investment. So that time, after Tiananmen massacre, in the US and the European Union sanctioned to the China, it was not good enough, you know, just a sanction some, and China didn't say nothing, because the China need Western money, technology. And the US leaders, particularly Clinton time also, most of some US leaders saying, oh, China, if economically developed, this economic developed bring maybe political reform.
Yes.
Yes. But China is economic developed. China no is second big economy. Use it as this power and example for authoritarian regime.
Right.
China no impose, it is authoritarian regime. That's a symbol. No. This China is model. I went to the UN Human Rights Council all meeting all the time. Wow. No, it's more authoritarian countries, more voice than democratic country, unfortunately.
Right.
You know,
right.
Human Rights Council occupies such a country, led by China. Everyone is, oh, China is great, you know. So this is the big responsibility, is led by US and the European country, and just the wrong interpretation of the CCP and the temporary benefit. Give a lot of opportunity to China. Then now China, CCP, not only threat Falun Gong, Uyghur, Hong Kong, Tibetan. Today, CCP already threat national sovereignty, United States. National sovereignty, the other neighboring country. Threat was global democracy. Threat is a human right. Yeah.
No, and you know, around the 89, right? This is where, you know, by the way, the same day of the Tiananmen Square massacre was the same day of the first post-communist democratic elections in Poland.
Yeah.
So Poland, you know, your Central European countries went one way, China went a different way. But it's like the West or America kind of got drunk on the idea that we have the best system and everybody will become like us. The end of history was Francis Fukuyama's idea, right? So there was a kind of an ideological thing there too, but I think the money is also important, like you said. So let's talk about this. When I read your book, The China Freedom Trap, I go, my God, this is like the textbook.
Yes.
to show how that could work, right? Because basically the moment you went into exile, as your problem started. I mean, you know, one big problem left. I mean, you lived, right, which wasn't necessarily guaranteed. But then, so tell me about what happened once you left.
Well, once I left from China, I left 1994. You know, after I left, of course, and the whole my family is suffering a lot. Yeah, and my family is monitoring, watching by the Chinese police 24 hours. All Uyghur traditions, or a relative all the time visiting each other's, you know, and shows respect to the elderly people. This is our tradition, and we have a lot of relative. But anyone, or family friend, or relative visit my family, my parents, then next day is police and deteriorates them, questioners them. Why are you visiting? What did you to talk? You know, then people scared, even relative also scared to visit my parents. So we can say is my parents, my family isolated by the society. Yeah, society. This is the one thing. Yeah. For me in exile, yes, China put my name to the Interpol. 1997. 1997 is nearly no one who is Uyghurs. What is this problem? But CCP thinking so long, so future, you know?
Right.
Maybe we have to cut, we have to stop at the beginning. That time not exist World Uyghur Congress, World Uyghur Youth Congress. I was the co-founder of World Youth Congress. We don't have money, we don't have a capacity, you know. Our advocacy capacity is very low. Even we don't have experience to the UN or some international advocacy. We are mostly doing community work, you know. Community work, okay, sometimes we are joining some international conference, cooperate with Tibetan people, that's all. But China, my name, 1997 to the Interpol, I didn't know. First time, 1999, that time I had a refugee status, travel document. I was not German citizen that because I came to Germany as political asylum seeker. Yes. Yeah, so I got one invitation, one conference to United States. I went to the Frankfurt for U.S. General Consulate to visa application. I give my passport, all document. I'm waiting. After 30, 40 months later, security guys just coming to me. Come on with me. I was surprised. What happened? My passport is inside. I have to wait. No. And very rude. Took me out from the U.S. General Consulate in Frankfurt. I saw there is a German police car waiting, you know. Yes, and the German police, please, you come to us to the police station. Sure, okay. And one of my friends with me, he want to come. No, you cannot take this police car. You can separately give the address. So he took me to the police station. Well, at the beginning, German police also make joke with me. Oh, there is maybe some small misunderstood or miscommunication.
Right.
And they asking me joke. Did you kill someone? I never imagine. Whole my lifetime, I never killed any chicken. You know, how can I kill the people? It is the and well, joke, and they are also the searching and talk some place. 2-3 hours later, and very normal everything. But a couple of hours later, this police came to me, shows one papers. It is you. I look at is my pictures and my name in the paper. My name of my parents, address my hometown. Wow, saying, this is you? I scared, and they say. I couldn't say it's yes me. Looks like me. I told him, if this is a guy you will be arrested today.
And just if I can jump in, because this paper that you were looking at was an Interpol red notice.
That time I didn't know what is Interpol red notice.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
Just show something. Then police told me you have an arrested warrant by the Interpol. Then I was shocked. Yeah. And I called my lawyer immediately, and he talked. Well, and I was thinking, Chinese government, and they did such a dirty game against me. I was thinking, how many years? Because police told me, if this guy you are, you will be arrested. You know, told me, how many years I will stay in the jail? Okay, I'm ready to stay in the jail in Germany, but and if send me back, extradite to China, what should I do? Well, I was thinking this all very short time. Then, and police attitude was changed after that. Before it make joke with me, then okay, then I said, can I go toilet? The police accompany with me. You know, before that, okay, toilet is there, show me. Then okay, then I thought situation seriously. Then after maybe more than 5 or 6 hours later, and the police came to say, okay, you are political asylum seeker, you was the students leaders. They got all my interview tics, everything. They collected all the information about me, and they're saying, okay, you asylum seeker is accepted by Germany, so you will be protected according to German law, international law. You will not be happening in the border European Union, no problem. If you will go to the United States, maybe you will be arrested in the border, but should not be sent to the China, sent to Germany. But you extremely careful, don't travel and Asia country or and the Central Asia, any country which has special treatment with China.
Right.
Wow. Okay. I saw. Wow.
And I just want to mention, you know, these Interpol red notices, these are for like serious criminals.
It is.
Right?
Yes.
This is like one of the worst designations. The idea is to track down kind of transnational criminals, actually, right?
Yes, it is. It is the criminal. It is the, for example, human trafficking or drug on or kill someone or money laundering and such kind of issue. This is, well, so then I told the police, oh, I didn't know I'm such a big criminal, you know. Then I talked my lawyer, told lawyer say, it's no problem, it's Germany. You will be protected, the refugee law. Okay. This I know. Actually, this arrested warrant is issued in 1997, but I learned after 2 years later, 1999.
Okay.
This is the first step, you know. So since then, that time China didn't blame me as a terrorist, because Chinese government didn't use the terrorist term to the Uyghur movement until September 11 terrorist attack, 2001, you know. That's why China at the beginning blamed me killer, established criminal gang, that's why. And the rest of some Uyghur movements that time China blame is a religious fundamentalist or separatist. This is the most common blame label to the Uyghur. But after September 11 terrorist attack, Chinese government immediately changed the language, because we are Muslim, very easy label. How it is a perfect opportunity to crack down the Uyghur. Chinese government immediately, wow, we are victim of terrorism. Uyghur is a terrorist. No? Then 2003, Chinese government issues an official list. 4 Uyghur organizations in exile, 11 individuals as a terrorist officially. Chinese public Minister of Public, Gongwanbu, published warrant. Well, my name is number 3. Then China after that blamed me as a terrorist. Change Interpol this. I was being a terrorist after 9 years later, because I left China in 1994. This terrorist attack is in New York happening 2001. China 2003 in the issues list, and saying, oh, Dolkun doing some and the terrorist activism in China. I already left China 9 years ago, but China blamed me. So this blame and really impact a lot to my personal life, family life, you know. So if to some UN comes, oh, background check, I couldn't get accreditation, you know. A lot of international NGO also very avoided very carefully to touching to us, and also well, really we activist level, organization level, we had a lot hard times that time. And today also mentioned in the book launch event, you heard, and in fact my family, my children, my son was born in Germany. He never visited in this Turkestan, my hometown. My daughter was born in Beijing, actually, because my wife work is Beijing. When I left China 1994, that time my wife pregnant for my daughter, 3.5 months. After I left, 6 months, more than 5.5 months later, I got my baby, my daughter. She was born. I saw first time my daughter 3.5 years old. I brought to Germany. So, and no is, everybody know is a Uyghur issue at least. But 10, 15 years ago, my children was small. They didn't tell me as well. You know, once just a couple of years ago, my son, my daughter sitting together, chat, saying, "Do you know, father? No, I'm proud of you. But 10 years ago, even 5, 6 years ago, I hate you. Because we had faced a lot of discriminated, isolated, my classmate, schoolmate, because people check, Dolkun Isa, Dilfira Isa, Attila Isa, check it, oh, this is your father? Yes. Oh, your son or daughter is a terrorist. Your father is a terrorist? My children couldn't explain, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Even they didn't tell me that time. So that's why they are saying, that time why we are not, we don't, and the child of the normal people. Why I'm the child, son or daughter with one terrorist?
Right.
Yeah. So my children, they didn't have friends. Everybody avoid. Right. Even sometimes it is in the teacher also discriminates them. I didn't know that. Just 2, 3, 4 years ago, they are sitting, they tell us, you know, because I criticized to them, look, why you don't do demonstration? Why you don't actively joining the is activism? And they say, look, can you listen to us? Yes. We had such a difficult time that time. We couldn't tell you.
That's
we couldn't
incredible.
experience. Yes.
And they were quiet. They didn't say anything.
They didn't understand. They could not defend themselves. Nobody listened to them. So this is not only effect of organization level. This red notes affects family and the daily life, everything. Yeah.
This is, I mean, basically, it's the weaponization of the international system.
Exactly.
To persecute
yes.
people.
Yes. Yes, China misuse Interpol. Not only China, several authoritarian countries today, Russia, Iran, some country is the use Interpol. So China perfectly use it. Yeah.
You know, I just want to mention one more thing. You know, not long after, it took like 21 years for that red notice, if I understand it, to be lifted finally. Yes. But when it was lifted, there was, at the time, actually the head of Interpol was Chinese. Now, wait a sec. This is, I still have trouble saying this because it's sort of a blow your mind idea, right? That this totalitarian dictatorship put up the head of Interpol, of the international police body. It was run by them.
Yes.
Right? But soon after your red notice was lifted, that head of Interpol went to China and was frankly never heard from again.
Yes.
Which is again crazy, right? He was still the head of Interpol.
Yes.
And he disappears and no one knows what happened. I mean, later we learn what happened.
Yes, exactly.
But that's itself is a crazy story, right?
Yes, so that's why time to time when I talk some conference saying is actually in Meng Hongwei, he wanted arrested me, but no, he's in jail, I'm free man. Yes, this is the...
I mean, they said that he was corrupt.
Yeah.
Right? But, you know, that can mean anything over there, as we know, right? Because you were marked as a terrorist.
Yes, yeah. This after Meng Hongwei disappeared and the jail, and some media also write something, or because when he couldn't stop my Interpol red notes was cancelled as a president, then the Chinese government cannot tolerance him. This is the reason why Meng Hongwei was arrested. Maybe I don't know. Maybe this is the one reason. Maybe I don't know. To be honest, but yeah, it is true, and because of course, Interpol, it is a big shame, you know. It's such a huge organization. Is the president of the from China, yes, one of the authoritarian countries. It is not acceptable. So it is not only Interpol. Is the example. It is quite a lot of international organizations very corrupted.
You know, there were these, you know, what they called Chinese police stations,
yes,
right?
Yes.
But Chinese human rights defenders were exposing them. We knew about them as well. Actually, in many countries, there's these things exist.
Yeah.
So it's basically kind of a partnership with Chinese police, Chinese state security, and the local police. But in some cases, in many cases, it's in liberal democracies, right? What do you think about this practice of pairing? You know, in some cases, there's even paired patrols in tourist areas. These kinds of things. What do you think of this?
Well,
General?
yes, this China is a very perfectly misused is a democratic countries and liberalism is a freedom of expression. This is misuse the democratic system. This is rule of law. You know, this as you said, more than 100 police station is funded. This we talking at the beginning. It was not new for us. Mm-hmm. Yes, we didn't say it's a Chinese police station, but we say Chinese long-arm transnational repression is coming to the Germany, because I'm living in Germany. Mm-hmm. 15 years ago. We know that because Chinese police coming like is business, like businessmen, coming to the Munich event, meet some member Uyghur community, offer cash to them, and offer to the you can travel to Uzbekistan, you can make business. Yes, you bring the singers, then up to your sold, then you can pay this money. You know, so this starting many years ago. We reported to the German police. They are not very take care of us on this. Okay, just listen to us.
Were they trying to lure people back, or were they trying to compromise people? What was the plan there?
All different.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes the Chinese police is coming as I say as a businessman status, you know, and meet, make friend slowly. Okay. Then later, we can make business, and sometimes really police and the threat to you have to stop silence. You have to cooperate with us. Other way, because most of some Uyghurs family is Uzbekistan hostage, you know. So and if you don't cooperate with us, you have to think in your family member.
Right.
Yeah. Then weaponize this also. Then they cooperate. Yes.
Dolkun, if I might mention, since we're talking about family, I do want to mention someone that's very important, which is your mother.
Yes.
And you know, your mother, you know, God bless her, because she supported you all the way through it. I think knowing what the risks were of doing that. So just tell me a little bit about her, because you say she's was the most important person for you, right?
Yes, yeah. My mother's died in the concentration camp. It's 78 years old that time, you know. Well, she was not activist. She was not politician. She was just a housewife, but brave woman. Brave woman. When I was starting pro-democracy movement in Uzbekistan 1988, I was kicked out from the university. That time is some students is kicked out from university looks like no future. Everybody, but maybe this person is no future. That time, but my mom and support me. Yeah, you are my son. I support you. You didn't wrong. So, how many mother can encourage the son? This is the question. But my mother encouraged me, not like my family member. If that time, when I kick also from university, she can angry, you know, for me. Oh, you are student, you have to silent, you have to study. Why you make such a trouble? She can angry with me, you know, and because there is that time no company, private company, you know, no, I couldn't find job. If my parents not support me. Well, I had really difficult situations that time, but my family, particularly my mother, and support me. Yes. Then after I left, also as I said, they are suffering a lot, monitoring 24 hours, isolated the Uyghur community as well from the relatives. She never complained on me, you know. So finally, and I don't know exactly. Last telephone communication my mother is middle of April 2017. It was last time I talked to her. And even 2003, Chinese government blaming terrorists. Chinese CCTV broadcasting my pictures every day, and also police coming to my home. And your son is a terrorist. You have to denounce him. And we arrested him, bring to the justice to China. She said, okay, you can do it. You can do it. That time also I called her. She speak with me. But 2017, last time April, she told me, please don't call me anymore. Then I realized the situation's how serious, serious. Then disappeared. Then after 1 year later, I learned from the Radio Free Asia. More than 1 year, I learned from Radio Free Asia. My mother died in the concentration camp.
Yeah, so they took a 78-year-old woman,
yes,
and put her in that camp.
Yes, yes.
You know, this is part of this reality that we don't often talk about, right? It's like the way that the families of the activists or people who are marked, have to deal with it. Like, I'll give you this example, right? You said it's not just that you're called to terrorist on the red notice and you have to deal with police and you have to go to the borders, and I still want to talk about these different border situations that you encountered because of this and other things, but in China, they broadcast that, they advertise that, and they use you as a kind of tool to scare everybody else.
Yeah.
And of course, they focus on the family. So just tell me more about that.
Well, China, as I said, and use the family member hostage, and all Uyghurs maybe is the same situation as the Tibetan, maybe Falun Gong, all, and use the hostage family member and trying to silence to them, and not only silent, it's cooperate with the Chinese government. Yeah, so Chinese government, and before 2016. Uyghur community who already got U.S. citizen or German citizen or some other citizen, obviously got the visa to travel to China, visiting family member. But they are landed before receiving a family member, police security service receiving them, brought to the so-called hotel, drinking tea, offer tea, and threat to them. Welcome. If you really want to visit and enjoying with your family, this condition, you have to cooperate with us. If you not cooperate with us, you cannot stay, and we can deport you, and also your family member. You have to think of this. Well, the people, some of them, after returned, and they reported us this, but most of them didn't report, so that's why very difficult. Who we continue we work with the Chinese government?
Right.
Yes, and even before get a visa, and if your visa application to Chinese General Consulate or Chinese Mission, they're also asking several questions, and asking you cooperate with them, provide information, collected information, World Uyghur Congress, Uyghur community, provide to them, and who is not cooperate and don't give visa. So it is the one tactic of China, and sometimes you get visa, I couldn't get, and next day or the next month I got visa, you cannot, and then among them Uyghur community, look, he got a visa, he's the activist, but maybe he
must be cooperating.
Cooperating.
Yeah.
Then lost trust each other.
Right.
Nobody who trusts whom. This is the issue.
100%.
Yeah, China. This is the one tactic of the China. Maybe China doing is some other group also, not always among the Uyghurs. Yeah.
Right. I've talked about this with a number of people involved in China human rights issues because of whether they're from the Tibetan community or the Uyghur community or the Falun Gong community or the Hong Konger, Hong Kong dissident community. There's always this attempt to break the communities from the inside by co-opting people, by using these pressure tactics, by doing this was very interesting what you said, by sort of making people doubt each other in very kind of sneaky ways. Like maybe the person is innocent, but they'll get the visa this time, but now they're going to be suspected.
Exactly.
Anyway, you know this better than I do. I don't need to. But for our viewers, for a lot of people that have grown up for the most of their life in free liberal democracies, it can be hard to imagine.
Yes.
I would argue that in recent years, there was this imagination that we're going to change China by investing so much. That was the official line, right? For so many years.
Yes.
And I like to say this because I think it's important. I think it happened in the other direction. It's like we learned all the wrong lessons.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yes, so this is a very important point. This is, as at the beginning I said, is the U.S. government and also Western government. We say generally is the European. They have a huge responsibility for this level. Because they are wrong imaginate in the economic development, and they are saying we are not only impose a technology. We impose a democratic system, and we can export a democratic system to China. Wrong. They don't understand CCP mentality. They don't understand CCP mentality. Well, but no, the reality, we warning. 20 years ago, we were no. Even some Chinese democratic movement also warning. Is the government? No, it is wrong. Even is the China let China join the WTO. It is the wrong decision, I know some democratic Chinese democratic friends, for example, Wei Jingxin also opposed this time. No, it is wrong. Don't China should not be members of WTO, World Trade Organization.
Right.
But this government saying no. Then, China use this all. Then, no, it's China. We have seen all. This is the threatened. Even the United States today, is Europe, all country. They are not just export money, Western technology. China never accept Western value.
Well, right, exactly. And this is the thing that I find the most sort of pernicious or problematic, is because they use these different techniques like the legal warfare. Like the security warfare, like we've been discussing, like using a red notice or something like this. This is just one example. But the concept is you use the tools of the free and democratic societies against them. You weaponize them. You go to court. You go to the WTO. You get access, but then you don't have to follow the rules. And what happens to you? Well, nothing apparently for 20 years.
No,
right?
China trying to change international order.
Correct.
Yes. They want to change international law, for example, norm of the human rights system. We provide food 4 billion people, provide clothes, provide food. This is the develop it. This is the example. This is the good model for the human right. Some authoritarian regime. Yes.
Well, we were speaking with Ambassador Kelly Curry earlier, and one of the things she said was that there was this moment in the at the UN where the Chinese delegation decided they were trying to change basically what human rights were in the first place, where they get to kind of dictate. They're not sort of inalienable anymore, so to speak, right? It's this constant attempt to subvert that system. One of the things we talked about today earlier as well was how deeply the financial relationships are between, it's not just America, not just Wall Street, but many liberal democracies, right? Especially the big economies, right, in the world. In Europe, Germany would be a good example, right? How much did we in these free countries start adopting the Chinese Communist Party values in doing our work? I struggle with this, and as I look at the world.
Well, and one thing I would like to mention today from the Uyghur perspective most of some countries and even some democratic countries is just and the evaluated Uyghur issue is a human right framework. It is wrong.
Okay.
Yes, human right violation exists everywhere, everywhere. So that's why if you just think about human right issue or something like, even this human right problem exists in the United States, Europe, Germany,
Absolutely.
Africa, around the world. But only level big different, big different, yes. And that's why this is the good excuse for the company, you know. Is a business entitled? Yes, it's a human right issue, human right problem exists in every country. This is the human right, is another issue, business is another issue, yeah. This is the good excuse for them. But the Uyghurs today, Chinese Communist Party commit genocide against Uyghurs. You know, UN report, this UN report saying it is a crime against humanity. Chinese government, it's crime against humanity. It is not simple term. It is, you know, genocide. Is Uyghur tribunal within 18 months collected 100,000 page document, more than 500 people's testimony, and 2021 December 9, and Uyghur tribunal make judgment saying it's Chinese government commit Uyghur against Uyghur commit genocide and the crime against humanity and torture. So far 10 national parliament and adopted Uyghur genocide motions. US government and the US Congress also and declared it's Uyghur genocide. So European Parliament adopted possible genocide and crime against humanity. So it is mean this is not simple human right violation. It is a crime according to the international law. So business as usual should not be and running. No, it is not correct time business as usual. So every company, every country should have legal obligation to stop ongoing genocide. After the Holocaust, 75 years ago, and the genocide was taking place, and then never again, world leader promised never again, but this never again is happening again today. This, as I know, more than 150 countries signed international convention is against genocide. This all this country have legal obligation. So that's why I'm thinking this, if you're just talking as a human rights issue as a business, good excuse to then continue running business.
Right.
But it is the CCP and commit genocide, crime against humanity. Then this concept, so the country should not have a right to make business with China. Stop business. In Germany, we are doing saying all the time, Volkswagen, for example.
Volkswagen is astonishing because
exactly,
Volkswagen was also, involved in another, back in the 1930s and 40s.
Yes.
was after all a German company, right?
Yes, they have complicity with the Nazi regime and cooperate with Nazi regime. Today cooperate CCP regime. They're saying, we're sorry. If you say sorry, then you should not be cooperate. You should not repeat it, same mistake, same crime.
Right.
Yeah, but unfortunately, countries continue to make business with China, creating some excuse. But good thing is at least U.S. Congress adopted Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act. Yes. No, our product from East Turkestan Xinjiang is banned. No, it is good, but it's not only United States cannot stop this. This
right.
should be continue pushing some as European Alliance, Germany, and cooperate together. And
so the CCP line on this, and a lot of people that maybe even with some good reasons distrust the United States. Okay,
yeah.
will say, well, these are these genocide or whatever. These are political designations because it's convenient for the U.S. and so forth. So just a little bit on the inside to get this. Genocide designation, was unbelievably difficult.
Yes.
You know, kind of knowing a little bit of the internal machinations, knowing the insane amount of resistance that it got. I mean, the whole point of this kind of designation is because it requires, by law, some kind of a reaction, because this is supposed to be the worst thing that human beings do to each other, right? And we don't want to support that. But somehow, see, this is what I'm talking about when it comes in terms of our values. You know, back in 45, we said never again, and we all agree this is terrible and we should never let it happen, right? But today, somehow, you know, this isn't the only one. This isn't the only genocide, but it's official. Yet, in many ways, especially in the last few years, it's been business as usual, and that, I think, that says something about our values, right? Like somehow we've changed too. Right, and my question is it because of this engagement that we've been changed? You know.
Well, yes, and this we should warn from our experience to the lawmaker, government. Yes, so we remind them, we push them. We have a lot of responsibility. Civil society now is 460 international human rights organization, labor union, and the civil society coming together, established in the Uyghur Forced Labor Coalition. It is a good step, and they are working together. We are working together, and we are pushed the government and in the business entity. Some and is a business remove. For example, one of the German company, BASF, chemical company.
That's right.
Yes, last month is announced because in the media, we have to use the power of the media, CDF of the German media, publishing how is BASF cooperate with the CCP and for the concentration camp. But we talking to them, since the money, yes, they refuse. But after that, and finally, they are, okay, we are make mistake, then make announcement to that. Another robot company also removed. This is a good step. And the H&M is a Swedish company.
Yes.
Also stopped buying the cotton because globally 25% cotton textile coming from Uyghur forced labor. Yes, globally. 85% cotton in China from Uyghur forced labor. Adria Zans, Laura Murphy, a lot of respectful scholar use the Chinese resource and made a report. So we asking in some company, so some is and remove and quit business with China. It's good step, but it's not good enough. At least 700 international brand have a direct link with Uyghur forced labor. Among them, very few of them is stop business, but most of them continue make business. So that's why we continue make. But this is a good example. We have seen some power of the coalition. We have seen some power of the coalition and the cooperation. Yes.
It's interesting that you say this because on the one hand, this kind of showcases how big the issue is. On the other hand, it also showcases that something can be done. Significant things have changed, and it happens when people, like your mother said, right, persevere and keep going.
Yes.
Right. I asked you a question during this recent event, your book launch at the NED, and you had a very passionate response. You know, just we were talking about transnational oppression, a specific recent example, and you said you got to fight for it.
Yes. Yeah. So no, our work is not easy, you know, because we are fighting very powerful enemy. Yeah, and no is we need brave, and we don't have a capacity, you know, but we believe justice should be felt in the end. China is powerful. China has money, use diplomatic power, economic power, trying to manipulate UN system, misuse international system, and trying to cooperate with some other authoritarian country, convert to the Western democracy. So it's not easy. Even country also, sorry, and they cannot speak against China. But we have done this. Uyghur, Tibetan, Falun Gong, Hong Kongers, we speak. So it is not easy. It is a gigant, it's a big enemy. Every country, every people are scared for this. So that's why we must be very brave. We have to push the government, you know. It is necessarily. If you give up, it is the wish of the CCP. It is the wish. Oh, you give up, lost hope, then it is a festival for China. Oh, I won. So that's why we believe, we should believe all cause. I believe. I told you today, there's a book launch event, saying, 2006, I came to the United States with a German passport. I was stopped Washington International Dallas Airport. Up to 23 hours later, they sent me with a T-shirt to Germany. I was so sad, I was so disappointed, because me and the millions of Uyghurs, and not only Uyghur, entire world, and whole trust the U.S. democracy, rule of law. But that time, this U.S. government trusts CCP, blame me against the terrorists, blame. They don't trust me. I was disappointed. I sent me to Germany, Well, I was so disappointed, but I never give up. We have to fight. Finally, after 7 years later, 2013, after I deported, 7 years later, I got 10 years visa. 10 years visa. When I that time, if I got angry, disappointed, and give up, I'm not sitting here today. And the Interpol red notes, Interpol is a big institution. I'm powerless, guys. How can I fight in such a big institution, because China pay billion dollars to this institution? Yes. If I say that something like, maybe my red notes over my head still. But I'm fighting. Look, we're fighting. Maybe I can success. At that time, I couldn't imagine I could success. But I have to it. I never give up. Then finally, my red notes was deleted. I suffered 21 years, but they deleted. But some of them, Uyghurs, I know some who have red notes, they didn't fight like me. They have still Interpol red notes. I know they are not criminal. No, like me. Like me. This crime being Uyghurs, they are crime, and joining pro-democracy movements, they criticize China. This name is still in the Interpol list. But I'm fighting, searching the opportunity, contacts, and asking the international support. Then finally, I could find good alliance. They are advocating not only, at the beginning I'm alone, but later quite a lot of people, organization help me. Then we success. And they said, and in 2016 I was deported as a criminal, but 7 years later, 2013, I back to the United States. I got Human Rights Award, freedom fighter like. And 2019 I got the World Democracy Award in the Capitol Hill. I got the Nancy Pelosi from. Yeah, this is the situation. This is the example. So that's why in my book I would trying to tell the people, first, don't trust CCP. Secondly, don't give up. This is the message, simple.
Well, Dolkun Issa, it's such a pleasure to have had you on.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you all for joining Dolkun Issa and Mia in this episode of American Thought Leaders. I'm your host, Jan Jekielek.